Hello, welcome to Learning English with Movies. In today's video, we will talk about the movie The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs is a 1991 psychological thriller directed by Jonathan Demme and based on Thomas Harris' best-selling novel. It stars Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling, a young FBI trainee on the hunt for Buffalo Bill, a serial killer who skins his female victims. A trainee is a person undergoing training for a particular job or profession. She recruits the help of imprisoned Dr. Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins, a brilliant psychiatrist and cannibalistic serial killer. The film juxtaposes the FBI's systematic efforts to track down the murderer with the killer's brutal and odd tactics. It also illustrates the hurdles a woman like Starling encountered in the FBI and how she eventually overcame them. A hurdle is an obstacle or difficulty. The Silence of the Lambs is frequently considered as one of the greatest and most influential films by critics and audiences. Not only that, but it's the third film in history to win 5 Academy Awards in all 5 main categories, including Best Picture. Director Jonathan Demme, who began his career with legendary B-movie producer Roger Corman, had directed critically acclaimed dramas such as Philadelphia, as well as comedies such as Something Wild and Married to the Mob. A B-movie is a low-budget movie. Sadly, Demme passed away in 2017 from complications from cancer and heart disease. A sequel, Hannibal, was released in 2001. Ridley Scott directed the film, which was based on Thomas Harris's novel of the same name. Scott is the acclaimed director behind some of the most memorable films in history, including Alien, Blade Runner, and Gladiator. The plot revolves around discredited FBI special agent Clarice Starling as she strives to apprehend cannibalistic serial killer Hannibal Lecter before his surviving victim does. To strive means to make great efforts to achieve or attain something. Anthony Hopkins reprises his role as Hannibal Lecter, and Julianne Moore takes over for Jodie Foster as Starling. The highly anticipated sequel broke box office records despite receiving mixed reviews. Red Dragon is a 2002 psychological thriller based on Thomas Harris's novel. Brett Ratner, the director of the successful Rush Hour and Charlie's Angels films, as well as Marvel's X-Men: The Last Stand, directed the film. In this prequel, FBI agent Will Graham, played by Edward Norton, enlists the help of serial killer Hannibal Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins, to track down another killer. To track down means to search for someone or something, often when it is difficult to find. The 2007 prequel Hannibal Rising follows Lecter's transformation from vengeful Nazi hunter to cannibalistic serial killer. The film garnered mostly unfavorable reviews from critics, while Ullia's performance as Hannibal Lecter was lauded. Lauded means highly praised or admired. The character of Hannibal Lecter didn't first appear in Silence of the Lambs. In fact, the film itself is technically a sequel to 1986's Manhunter. Manhunter is a thriller written and directed by Michael Mann, based on Thomas Harris' novel The Red Dragon. Michael Mann is an acclaimed director of the crime thrillers Heat, Collateral, and Miami Vice. Will Graham, an FBI profiler, is played by William Peterson, and Hannibal Lecter, a jail killer, is played by Brian Cox. A profiler is a person who analyzes someone's psychological and behavioral characteristics so as to assess or predict their capabilities. The plot revolves around Graham stepping out of retirement to assist in the investigation of a serial killer known as the Tooth Fairy. In order to accomplish so, he must confront his demons from his past and meet with Lecter. The character Hannibal Lecter was further explored in the acclaimed TV series Hannibal. The series centers on the relationship between FBI Special Investigator Will Graham and Dr. Hannibal Lecter, played by Mads Mikkelsen, a forensic psychiatrist who is destined to become Graham's most cunning adversary, while also being the only person who understands him. Cunning means the quality or skill of being clever at planning something so you get what you want. The show has achieved cult following and is regarded by critics and audiences as one of the greatest TV series of all time. Clarice is a 2021 police procedural television series. Procedural is a television series characterized by detailed, realistic treatment of professional police procedures. The series stars Rebecca Breeds as Clarice Sterling and takes place between the events of The Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. Unfortunately, the series was cancelled due to lackluster ratings. Despite its many adaptations, The Silence of the Lambs continues to be one of the most fascinating and thrilling explorations of the Hannibal Lecter character. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.